welcome to my channel. My name is Shreya and today I am going to be telling you that what I learned in the Baidu's app. So there's an app called Baidu's. It's the learning app, and today I went through it and I found a free live class. So I just went in the class, and then today I'm going to speak about what I learned in the live class, free live class. So I recommend you to also download the app, and you may also get more better in maths and science. So okay, what are you waiting for? Let's start the video. So first, what I learned is about the different crops. So the first one is food crops. The second one is cash crops. The third one is plantation crops. So there are three types of three types of crops. So let me tell you in which category does the crops come in. The food crops come in things like wheat, rice, and millets, and some sort of grains. So then next, the cash crops. The cash crops come with like cloth, like cotton and jute. And then plantation crops. Plantation crops come with some fruits and vegetables. So now we've learned all the three types of crops. So now let's go to how a crop is grown. So the first step of a crop, of how to grow a crop, that means farming, is to use a plow. A plow is where you loosen and soften the soil so that it is easier to get the plant. So then what you do is plowing. So you use machines. In the modern life you use machines, and in that sort of life, in the olden days, they were using two bulls or two oxes in front, and at the back the oxen or the bulls were tied with a sharp blade. So then the ones who are making it go will just hit them so that they go, and the sharp things will just plow the soil. The second step is sowing the seeds. Now sowing the seeds means putting and covering up the seeds, like how you do when you're just planting a crop. Like you just take the soil a little, make a little hole, put the seeds and put it. But now it's not that. It's about farming, right? So it's better to put the seeds in a 1 meter or some distance away. Like this is one seed and this is another. If you keep it like this, it will be uneasy to grow. But if you keep it in a distance, it will be easier to grow. So then, to make sure that the seeds are in a distance, in the modern life we use machines. As this is called a seed drill. So the machine is called a seed drill. So then in olden days, as usual, oxes and bulls tied to something like pipe. It was a pipe type of hole, and in that they were putting the seeds to plant it. Then after sowing the seeds, irrigation. Now this process is called irrigation. The process of sprinkling water to the plants is called irrigation. So the next step is when weeds. Weeds are small unwanted plants which are grown to take the nutrients from the all the other crops. That's bad, right? So we have to take out all the weeds with weedicides. That's a chemical, or by just taking a stick and plucking the weeds out. So the next step is for doing, like, when the plant is grown, you get some pests, right? Like insects, and they try to come on, and then they try to just eat all the leaves, right? So what you do is you just put some pesticides. Now in this words, sides means killers, pest, insect killers, weed killers, like that. Pesticides, that is a chemical. When you just spray it onto those leaves, the insects which are there will get dead. So then at last, when you get the plant, the crop, like when you get wheat crop, so in these days we use a machine called harvester. So harvester is normally like they drive through the crops and something shakes all those out, and then it goes in the bag they put it. So these days they are doing with the harvester, but those days they were using a curved type of knife. Like when a knife is there and it is curved, that knife, that is called a sickle. So then after harvesting every crop, then they put it in bags and take it to a storehouse. Now a storehouse is a place where you get wheat. The farmers, what they do, they keep some for themselves, and then they keep some for themselves in the storehouse. I was just kidding. The farmers keep some for themselves somewhere else and put the remaining in the storehouse. Now if we put fruits and vegetables or other type of crops in the storehouse, they will get rotten. So the farmers only keep rice, wheat, and other sort of grains like millets, rice and wheat. So after the storehouse, after a few days, they take it to the marketplaces. So then when they take it to the marketplaces, they get some money. So now let's learn about spices. Spices, if you have some rice and if you have some vegetables, you could make a curry. But how could you even make a curry without any spices, without any taste? Yes, you need spices for that, right? So now what you do for spices, you could plant spices, and then like spices like cinnamon, jeera, and pepper powder, chili powder, turmeric is not a spice, cardamom, and cloves. These are some types and some sort of spices. So now we are going to be learning. So we are going to do a quiz. Okay, I'll give you 15 seconds to answer this quiz. So take a pen and paper and just answer. So now the first, what would you do after plowing? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which step is it? Okay, if you wrote sowing the seeds, then you're right. Next, what you do, next question is, what are the steps of planting? Okay, if you wrote a couple of things, first you get plowing, then you get fertilizing. You fertilize the mud or the soil with some type of natural and man-made things. There are two things to fertilize the land or the soil or the mud. The first thing is natural. It's called manure. It is made up of plants, rotten plants and animal dung, like cow dung. Oh my god, it's so stinky. Like that. That is called manure. So you use that to fertilize the soil. The next thing is the man-made thing. That is called a fertilizer. So now, after plowing, after plowing, you fertilize the soil. Then you put the seeds in, and then when you weedicides, when you put weedicides or take the weeds out, then irrigation, then first before weeds, if you put irrigation, you're right. And weeds, the weedicides, and then pesticides, and then harvesting, and the storage, and then the marketplace. So if you wrote that, you're right. Now, the next question. What are the types of food crops? If you wrote, the types of food crops are wheat, rice, and millets, and sort of other things. You're right. Okay, now the last summary. We are going to have a summary now of what we learned so far. So first, we learned about the cash crops and food crops and the types of crops. So, food crops are the crops which you eat, which you plant for eating, like wheat, rice and millets and a sort of other things. Cash crops are big for clothing, like cotton and jute and fiber and sort of like that. Now, next, plantation crops are for fruits and vegetables. For you eat fruits and vegetables, right? You stay healthy when you eat them. Okay. The three crops are done. Now we are going to do a summary of the farming plantations, how to farm. First, the thing is fertilizing the soil with manure or fertilizer. The next thing is plowing. The next thing plowing loosens the soil and softens it. And then the next thing is sowing the seeds, where you put the seeds in a distance but not so near. So then next you go for irrigation, obviously, to sprinkle water around the plants, crops. Then you do the weeding weed, the process of taking out weeds is called weeding. So you take out weeds, that means weeding, you do the process of weeding, then you get pesticides, then you get pests, then you have to take the pests out, and then you have to apply pesticides to the pests, and then you have to, after the crop fully grows, you have to harvest it, and then you have to take it to the storehouse and then to the marketplace. Okay, this is the end of the video. Please and please subscribe to my channel and download this app. It's free.